Only in the past maybe year and a half or so have I been blessed with using techs, and that's completely changed my life. It's made me
hell yeah.
lazier as far as whether I want to set up my own equipment or not. But this is for all the group. The pros and cons, I guess, of using a tech or loading in yourself. What does everybody enjoy?
Well, is there a con to
Is there
having
a con?
a tech?
Yeah, I don't think there's a con.
Dude, people setting my stuff up at the wrong height, their pedals in the wrong place, all kinds of stuff.
I don't give a shit. I'd rather have it totally set up wrong than me taking it out of the truck.
100%.
Sure. And to be honest, it's never really set up perfectly anyway. So you always, and for drummers at least, so particular about, the snare drum is a little angled this way. So I gotta, everyone, that's what the Soundcheck's for. So, but, for drummers, at least, you have like tape and, you tape things up and, there's a word for that, but spiking or something.
Yeah. So you're 100% for the tech side of things.
I mean, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Doesn't bear shit in the woods.
Welcome to Punching In, a series of roundtable discussions by musicians to share ideas about workflow and collaboration.
Dave, how's your son doing? Is he about there with your setup? Does he do it pretty perfect?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Yep.
Just gonna slide right in that job description.
Yeah. There you go. Yep.
Okay, so then that leads me into my next thing, since everybody agrees on that. How early are you going to get to sound check? Are you going to get there right at call time, or are you going to get there earlier to make sure everything's in the right place?
Early, every time.
Cool. Early.
How much?
Always early.
First one on stage.
Okay.
Always.
You're talking like what, an hour early? Half hour?
No. But at least, even if it's 15 minutes before, that's enough time to like dial in drum tones and,
cool.
As soon as any sort of string instrument gets there, drums are fucked.
Game over. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to step on their toes. No one wants to hear boing, boing, when the guitarist is trying to it's just common sense. I feel like drummers should always get there first. It's the loudest and most annoying instrument. Just tune that shit up. Right? Yes. Tune it up and then get out. And then when the guitar and bass player is doing their thing, then you can get off stage.
Yeah.
And drummers bring a practice pad so you're not like banging on the snare drum and like interrupting the bass player's sound check and like stop being so annoying, Just get there first and get it out of the way. I don't know if I'm sure, Dave agrees, but
100%. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Dave, I know you get to sound checks early. How much early are you getting there?
It depends on the venue. It depends if it's somewhere I've been before, if I know what I'm walking into or not. Yeah. Once in a while I'll get a text message from our TM who's doing sound, like he's there advancing at a couple hours before me, and he'll be like, hey man, I think you need to come over and check out this or that might be problematic for you and make sure we're cool with everything. So if I have a heads up on stuff like that, I'll get there even earlier. But yeah, literally exactly what Neal said. Definitely I'm getting in there and making sure that everything's going to work and trying to do it and get out of everyone's way so that everything can flow.
Nice.
May I also add something?
Yeah.
That a lot of times that you don't have the luxury of getting there really early because everyone's, the band has a call time and they take a van to the venue.
Right.
But, then a lot of times the band goes into the dressing room and gets a Dorito and hummus or whatever. Right. And even if it's 2 minutes before the band gets on stage, I like to just get on there and see what's going on.
Right. Just
to have some drum time. Because if you don't really, I find that if you don't have it in the beginning, you never really get it at the end, because then the artist comes and then it's over.
Is that also about feeling out the room, hearing the acoustics of the room, just getting a vibe for that?
No, I don't know. In a bigger place, I think that's up to front of house, or I think it's more about like adjusting things and tuning things for me.
Yeah,
like making sure.
I think it's just about. Yeah, I think it's just about being in the mindset. Like, I just want to feel like I have all my things, especially like on a pop gig where you're playing synth and bass and you got your pedal board. I just want to make sure there's no technical problem on my end. Like, there's nothing worse than on a show playing and your pedal board goes out or something. Like, one cable is fucked up. And like, I just want to like make sure my station is set up, everything's where it needs to be, my knobs are where they are. I just like to have that space. And normally I can't do that if I'm like right on time for sound check. I need to get there at least 15, 20 minutes before for my own piece.
What about background singers, Katie? How does that work? You guys have techs that come out and do a little check for you?
I mean, the mics are pretty much set, like our levels are set.
Yeah, every night, same shit. It's great, right?
It's pretty great. We have amazing people that work.
I mean,
one of them is my husband, so he knows.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys tour together?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, can that be the next question, Nick?
What's that?
About touring with significant others?
Oh, please. Yeah, Katie, bring that up.
Is anyone else in this scenario? Yeah, it's actually been, we met touring, and it's been awesome. It's really, it's actually great. I mean, we have
So you share a room?
We do share a room. We do get, sometimes both we get a room, so we'll check, whose room's better.
Or maybe like if you need some space, you can get the ones that have like a door that separates you, so you could like get ready.
We're like motel vibes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, but it's great.
That's awesome.
You have to. We have very different jobs, so we have to.
What does he do?
He's a stage manager, tour manager, and
oh wow, nice.
That's
great.
He has a lot more to worry about than I do. I literally show up the latest call to the venue and just walk on stage, and everything is ready, and it sounds great.
All you have to worry about is your first class upgrade.
That's true.
And then
that is true.
Let the hubby worry about the call times.
He tells me when I need to get places.
That's the best. That's the best. I'm recently engaged.
Oh my God! Congratulations.
And I met my fiance in China 8 years ago on a gig.
What?
Where she's a dancer. Yeah, she's a dancer, and I was playing drums in a gig, and she was dancing on the same gig. She's Australian.
Okay.
And we did long distance together for many years, and now she's living with me, but we've never toured on a gig. But I imagine, she does all those pop gigs too, so I imagine at some point in our careers she'll be a dancer on some gig.
Are you looking forward to that? Do you think it'll work well?
No, I'm not. I like to, I think I just like to keep both separate for no reason other than just, I think my personality is, I'm just used to coming home to a life that I know here, and I don't know how to, I don't know how to incorporate that yet.
Yeah.
So, that's just me being honest. I'm sure she feels the same. It's nerve-wracking. I'm glad it's, it's giving me hope that it's working for you.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely have to kind of adjust certain things, and he has a lot of stresses that I don't have to worry about. And, so it's just navigating just the space you each need to do your job well. And, it's great. It's great now. It's been about 5 years, and we're kind of at this point, it's sort of like we kind of just only want to tour together if we can. It's really nice.
That's great. I hope to do that one day, I hope I get to that point.
So bass players, Tabari and Max, how early are you guys getting there? Max, you have electronics, you have key bass. So what's your setup time?
Yeah. I like, I don't need to get there too early. I mean, I don't want to be there like an hour or two. I mean, sometimes we can't, sometimes like it depends on the tour. I mean, I've done support tours where we literally the band only gets 20 minutes or 25 minutes or 30 minutes or, and the main act is the headliner is it's their show. They get the stage for however long they want. So, if we get 20 minutes, we use that 20 minutes, so I all in all, I just like to get there before whatever the tour manager says, the call time, or we use this app called Master Tour that we all follow. And if it says 3 p.m. sound check, I just want to at least be in the building, whether I can get on stage or not, at like 2:40 or 2:45. And, Yeah, because when you're in the middle of tour and you have the show dialed in, I don't need to take too much time. I just want to make sure everything is set up, the sounds work, there's not a glitch in my patch cables, tune up, and I'm good, you know?
Okay.
I'm kind of like the opposite.
Probably different for upright.
Yeah, I try to get as much time.
Yeah.
Like, because I have to shed. If it's a new bass, you know, especially if it's super involved, like I have to warm up.
Yep.
I have to like play the passages. I have to like check my intonation and like really get to know the bass, or else I've not done that, and I've listened back and I was like, bro, you were out of tune. You know, like, and you kept having to like listen. Like I do the work in the front, so I don't have to do it during the show. So as soon as I can get in there, I get in there. I prefer to get in there. And sometimes you just get there and you got to go. But even then, I'm just always like shedding. Always shedding.
Tabari, I think you and I are similar in that regard, because I need to play the room. I need to figure out what the room sounds like. And also, there's a backline piano there. I got to figure out what that feels like, because, man, that
your hands.
That just runs. That can run anything. I mean, you can get a really nice Steinway or nice Yamaha that feels great in some venues, and some venues it feels like they rolled it out from the dumpster, and like the felts are all messed up. There's dead keys. You just need to really feel what that sounds like in that room. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think you're similar to me. I just want to get there early and just make sure I'm there. You know?
Nick, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Nick. Like, what do you do if you show up and the backline piano is horribly out of tune and all this stuff's wrong with it? Do you complain? Do you say you need to get a tuner in here right now? Like, do you ever have that that sway? Or
no, I mean, I don't feel like I'm not at that diva level where I can demand things like that. Like, in there, but
I don't know how that works.
I would make one of two decisions. If it's a dead key, say on the lower register of the piano where I'm not working it too much, I'm fine. I can work that out. But if that middle range is sticky and the felts are all messed up, I'll just go on the keyboard. I just won't even mess with it. I'll just politely say, hey, you know, I've decided to go with the keyboards here and just get rid of it. There was actually one story where I was playing the Apollo Theater in Harlem, and the keyboard backline there was an old Yamaha motif, and the sustain pedal jack was jiggly, so the sustain pedal, literally that 1/4 inch was not locking into the input jack. So the entire show, and I'm playing some like R&B ballads and stuff, I need that foot pedal. I did not have the ability to use a foot pedal that night. So I literally was just, it's a different technique. You got to stay close to the keys. You can't do a lot of frilly stuff. You can't really do anything. You just got to play the gig for what it's worth.
Must have been very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. But yeah, Ash, I know that happened to you too, where I think there wasn't an amp at a venue or something like that. But, you know, these are just things you have to deal with, right? I mean,
yeah, that's why I fly with that fly rig. Basically saved the day. Yeah. If I wouldn't have brought that, I would have sat out the gig, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's the I guess that's the difference between like people crossing the I's and dotting the T's and being prepared and bringing the gear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let the show not happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So that rolls me into my next set of questions, which is front of house. Are you guys traveling with sound? And when you're not, how hellish is that sound check when you dealing with house sound? It's pretty bad.
With Didi, we travel with a front of house guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim, Big Tim, Daddy Tim. We call him Daddy Tim.
Yeah,
he's like
he's
a big guy.
Yeah,
he does everything. Yeah, and we're just the 5 of us, the band, and then him.
Yeah,
usually, and sometimes the tour manager too. So like 6 sometimes.
Yeah.
So
when you're not traveling with a sound guy, it's like basically Groundhog Day, where you wake up the next morning and everything is erased and you start from scratch every single day.
Yep. And that's
depending on the sound guy, it could still be that way.
Yeah, it could even be that way within an hour. It could be Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, I find that when you're dealing with house sound, it's really just a crapshoot. You're dealing with things during the show that you generally wouldn't be dealing with any other time. It's just a horrendous extra aspect to the show. But if you guys don't have anything to add to that, I'll keep moving on.
Well, I was going to say, I don't really ever worry about front of house.
Yeah.
It's not really our job.
You're dealing with monitors at your level.
Well, even not at a pro touring level. I mean, it's not really your job to figure out how it sounds in the house. Your job is to sing properly or play drums properly. Like with LP, we travel with a monitor guy and a front of house guy, and really we don't even need a sound check because the monitors are the same every night. As long as all the electronics are plugged in properly, I could walk on stage generally every night. And like you mentioned earlier, like how you fill out the room, I haven't felt like I've had to fill out a room in a long time because everything we're using is with in-ears. Yeah. So my room is
just here.
Has nothing to do with what I hear, you know.
Right.
There's so many tracks, and you know, it's. So I thought that was interesting. You're obviously not using in-ears if you're filling out the room generally, right?
Well, sometimes I am, dudes. And actually, the smaller like theater size venues, what I've tended to do is keep the left ear and pull out the right. Or another technique I do is whatever side of the stage I'm on, I'll pull out the ear closest to the drummer and the bassist, because I want to feel the acoustic quality of the bass amp and the drums in that ear. And I hate to say it, I really don't want to hear the audience, because I think you guys know the audience could be clapping incorrectly or making noise or doing something shitty to that respect, and it's just throwing the whole thing off. So I'm trying to actually get that out of my ear and get more of the band quality in this ear, you know. But I think, dude, theaters, man, are a crapshoot, man, because it could be a really nice theater with you know, very little tile or glass and a lot of felted seats, and you have a little bit more of a dead space. Or you can get a very live room with a lot of reverb, and that completely affects the piano tone. Completely.
And I think, Nick, a lot of the venues and gigs that we've done are a little bit unique from the standpoint that on the one hand, we are on ears, but on the other hand, we do still have to be cognizant of the room, because they're generally more intimate venues, whether it's jazz clubs or smaller theaters or things. And like, from a drum standpoint, it's even at the point where like stage volume can still be an issue. Yeah. And so there are venues where, even though we're on in-ears, have to be super careful of stage volume because of front of house requesting that, basically, you know.
Yeah. I honestly, Neal, to answer your question on that other subject, I use ears a lot more for click. I use it for backing tracks, and I use it to clean up my space as far as monitor mixes, because I find that monitors blaring on stage just really, like to Dave's point, really affect front of house and really affect the mix in those 500 to 1,000 seat theaters. It's just, you know, if you have things going way too hot on stage, it's affecting the mains. So,
and obviously all those awesome vocals that you're getting in your ears too.
I do. No, seriously.
Background vocals are at the top of my mix.
Yeah,
for sure.
Honestly, Katie,
I know that's all of you guys' number one priority is
yeah. Click, background vocals, drums.
That's it.
You know what's interesting though is that back, you know, in the day, you know, all there was monitors,
right,
with loud rock and roll shows and 1,000 cap rooms or arenas. And I mean, I want to relive that as much as possible. That's why I don't ever take a Liz Fair show for granted, because it's all monitors and it's so loud. There's 3 guitars.
How many guitar amps, dude, on that gig? Do they have like stacked guitar amps in the back?
No one plays stacks anymore.
No.
Tell you what, if I was playing guitar,
yeah,
I would for sure have a stack. I love, you know, the old Marshall half stacks, you know. Actually, I had 2 half stacks. Okay, quick background story. I had a Marshall stack and I had an EVH stack.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the, you know, Ash, you know, I had the 5150 Stealth head and the whole, I was like going bananas.
Nice.
And then I sold it to get a bunch of recording stuff, but I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, there's 3 guitars. 3 guitars on that gig, and it's super loud, and I'm playing as hard as I can. And I think that creates a vibe in itself, whether it's a small or big theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of, it almost, instead of like taking away from the room sound, it can almost do the opposite. The audience hears the stage volume, and that's a cool vibe.
Right.
But if you're playing with, the artist you're playing with, and it's a little softer, then maybe that can do the opposite.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that there was a time when it was just monitors, because I remember way back when I lived in Miami when they were first introducing the whole in-ear thing, and they had the super band touring around with like Bob Mintzer and Peter Erskine and all these guys, like demonstrating them at Sam Ash's, I think it was. And up to that point, everything was monitored. So something about I'm from both camps. It took me a long time to get over the hump of like the in-ear thing, because I like feeling it. I like a speaker that's moving air and that whole thing. But there is, depending on the venue, which I think is what kind of like summarizes this whole thing, is depending on how loud the crowd is and all that other stuff, and if you're playing with clicks, you need the isolation. So I have an appreciation for it. But if it was, I guess in my roots, I'm with Neal. I like to feel it, be in the room, feel the amp, feel, it's like when you play a small jazz club and you're right next to each other. You don't even need monitors. You just feel each other. You know what I'm saying? That feeling when you're like 20 feet away, you lose it if there's no monitor. And so now it feels like kind of sterile a little bit. I mean, the sound quality is there to a degree, and the isolation is nice, but it doesn't evoke the same emotion in you as the speaker. So that's just my opinion, but whatever.
So Katie, and that actually brings me to a question for you. What do you do with ears when you're trying to blend with people to your right or your left?
Well, I have a huge confession.
Okay.
I've never done a gig on ears.
Wow.
We're only on monitors. I've only, and Aubrey, we didn't do ears. I don't know. It just wasn't the thing we did. So I mean, I've obviously recorded a lot, and it's like, I've always wondered, like, I've wanted to have that experience, like just, so in Sergio's gig, it's kind of an interesting setup because Garcia, the singer, I sing, and it's unison vocals the whole time. So our mix is super important because I need way more of her in my mix, just because we're supposed to just sound like one singer. There's no harmony. It's just literally unison the whole show. And she doesn't like in-ears, and Sergio doesn't either. They're just kind of old school like that. So they're on wedges. I'm on a wedge kind of by default, and the rest of the band is on ears. So it's pretty strange. Obviously, we have drums and bass amp and percussion, like acoustically, but we kind of have to dial in our mixes pretty like intricate, like get enough, we have an auxiliary keys, guitar. It's sort of a weird mix on our gig. So.
Wow.
But I kind of love having monitors. I don't know. I haven't really. Yeah, like I said, it just hasn't come my way, a gig that requires in-ears. But
I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's fucking awesome. A gig when your in-ears are dialed in super well, doesn't come close to when you're playing a gig with monitors and it's dialed in really well.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate feeling. I mean, old school monitors and shit sounds great. I don't know what rooms. I mean, is he playing arenas or something, or?
No, we don't usually play arenas. We usually do theaters. A lot of like blue, like Yoshi's kind of places, like dinner jazz clubs. 2 shows a night kind of setups, like dinner, whatever. But yeah,
that's
a lot of theaters. So we're performing.
I think that's awesome. I'm jealous. I would love to never play with in-ears. And
okay,
speaking to Ash's point.
Can I ask a question, Nick?
Please.
For everybody, like the worst case scenario monitor mix, is it worse with in-ears or worse with wedges?
I guess in-ears, right?
I would say in-ears for sure.
Yeah.
Especially as a drummer, it depends on the gig. If you're playing a pop gig and there's a click, and your ears go out, which has happened multiple times, and you have tracks going on. I mean, and it's being taped for some DVD. You know, that shit happens. It's crazy. So I would much rather be on like regular monitors if something bad happened, because you could still play.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being on a show and your ears go out for whatever reason. I mean, it could be the pack, the battery is messed up, or like something with the connection, or it's happened to me more times than I've wanted it to on a pro big gig like that. And there's nothing more terrifying, because with Leon, she has a monitor engineer and a front of house guy, and they, so we don't have any monitors on stage. It's all ears. And there's been times when shit's gone down and like I can't hear anything. The click is gone, the tracks are gone, and at this point it's just like, while he comes and runs and fixes whatever's going on, I have to just play muscle memory, or like use whatever I have to like listen to like the front of house as much as I can. And there's nothing more terrifying than that.
I will say though that bass has it easier than if a drum mix goes out, because at least for a string instrument, you could always turn around and play to the drums.
Absolutely.
You can still take your ears out and hear a drummer bashing away. But
I try not to play with ears as much as possible. I rather hear and feel the bass than like hear it. So I'll always have one out. But if I don't have to, like on Aubrey's gig, y'all were doing the ears, but I was just playing the Dave the whole time. Yeah.
If I could play every gig for the rest of my life on ears, I would be so happy.
Oh, whoa.
Hell yeah.
I got to play all my gigs.
Contrary point of view. I love it. I totally love it. I love the clarity of it and just the precision. Hearing myself back, hearing my kick drum in my ears, just all of it. Love it.
I will say a pristine ear mix is like listening to a record, which is something I really enjoy.
Absolutely.
But man, I have the same philosophy as you, Max, where if something goes awry, for all intents and purposes, you have something that's booming in, right down below you, and that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to say before Dave said that, like, contrary though, there's those times when the mix is perfect in your ears. Like everything is dialed in exactly how you want it. And it's like playing to a record. Like it feels great. And one thing like the Leon band does is we all set up really close to each other. Even if it's a big stage, like we're not far apart. We're still close to each other so we can feel like that band vibe. And if the mix in your ears is like immaculate, it is really great. It's pretty awesome, I would say. I do like that, but when it goes wrong, it's very scary, I would say.
I will say for the ear thing, there are boards now that supply digital mixing boards on your phone or your iPad, and man, that is amazing. Just like to be able to have complete autonomy over your ear mix without even dealing with a monitor engineer or anybody. You know what I mean? You just dial in on the sounds you want to dial in, which is something I enjoy.
Well, let's try this in real time. Let's see if ears sound better. Here we go.
Are you gonna really do this on Zoom?
No, you know what? Nowhere is good. Nowhere near is good. I think monitors are better.
I need more Neal in my ears.
Jeez.
My you never need more Neal in your ears.
Actually,
what were you gonna say, Neal?
No, the best part about gigs with ears is the band banter. I don't know.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Dude, I mean, that's the best
talk
part.
Back, Mike?
Like, I have a talk back, and everyone usually, you'll have one that like is the full band, the artist, and then or just like the band, and that's like the fart mic where you tell jokes and like
it's great.
Just complain about how bad that chicken was at catering, and then that's the best part of any gig, right?
Not disagree with.
I mean, you gotta have some sort of humor on stage. After a month or 2 months of playing the same set, you gotta have a little fun. I'm not saying you're not playing the
Spice of life.
play, but spice of life, baby. Come on.
I wish everyone could hear Nick's talk back mic from when we used to play at the W. That was special.
I've experienced that.
Apparently, we don't know how to count to 4 tonight. Or whatever.
I think one time you said to me, I did that W gig twice, I remember, and I think my brain had a lapse in reason, and I was playing in a different key at first. I don't know what happened, and you said, Max, I believe those are flats, not sharps. I was like, damn, dude. Ice cold.
Mr. President screamed some profanity at you. That's usually what I did to people.
No, because I was subbing. I think I was subbing, so I think you were a little nicer to me.
Got it. Yeah. Well, you're the lucky. I think Ash.
Dude, I remember you we'd start calling stuff out that the singers were doing because the singers were all over the place.
Dude,
Fucking singers.
And I just you'd be like, "What the hell is she doing?" And then you could hear you breathing and stuff, like you were getting mad and stuff.
Nothing like hearing Nick breathe in your ears.
Oh man. Like we're holding. What the hell is she doing?
Yeah, the best part was that freaking DJ that just didn't know when to come in on anything.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
that was crazy.